Welcome to Duke Devil 95. My name is Brad Burnett, and we're back again this week for the latest episode of The Mandalorian. Yep, got another friend with me, but not even breaking out the good stuff this time. This episode of The Mandalorian is titled The Pirate, which kind of gives away what's going to be happening. Also, I did not call this The Adventures of Mando and Grogu in Space like normal. There's a very good reason for that, which will become apparent. So we open again on the planet of Nevarro, which is now, I'm guessing, the second most popular planet in Star Wars, since we're always going back to it. Grief Karga's doing his job as a high magistrate, engaging in some, casual urban planning, trying to make things run better. When all of a sudden he hears a bunch of noise from the outside, he rushes to the balcony and sees people running around, looking in fear, and they look up in the sky, and there's a giant starship. And we know that starship. That is the starship of pirate captain Gorian Shard. Yes, the pirate captain made of seaweed salad that we saw in the first episode. Droid comes running in saying, High Magistrate, the pirates have violated our airspace. And now they're hailing. Yes, the pirates are hailing Grief Karga. So, of course, Grief Karga says, Gorian Shard, what are you doing here? We don't want you here. Pirates are not allowed here. We're a respectable place now. And Gorian Shard says, basically says, I'm here for revenge. You killed my helmsman. You killed a bunch of my crew. And I'm going to take it out on you guys. Grief Karga tries to do a little bit of bluffing and says, hey, look, we got protection now. We got the New Republic. They're going to back us up. Grief Karga's bluff doesn't quite work, though, because Shard is wise to the situation, knows what's going on out there. He knows that the New Republic's busy trying to handle things elsewhere. He also knows that Nevarro is an independent planet, and they have no protection. Because why would a independent planet on the edge of the Outer Rim want to have any defenses whatsoever? What could happen? God forbid pirates show up. Oh, crap, pirates have showed up. Oh, wow. So, anyway, he says, I'm going to open fire. And then he says, this is the part that I love the best. He says, do not hail me again unless it's to surrender. So, like I said, he says, don't hail me again. Well, he didn't hail him. Did the writers not go back just like a page and see what they wrote? I guess not. Anyway, the pirate ship, gun turrets open and starts blasting away at the city of Nevarro. People are running and fleeing. Grief Karga records a message, Princess Leia style. I'm sorry, General Leia style. We must remember she is a general, not a princess. Who's that message for? We'll get to that later. Grief Karga grabs a weapon. He says, I'm not fleeing. I'm going to go protect my fellow citizens, and takes off. Now we see what appears to be a New Republic base on the edge of some sea or ocean. And when I was watching this actually with my girlfriend, she goes, this looks like something out of a Vietnam movie. And she's kind of right. Like you saw maybe in Platoon or Full Metal Jacket, you got the base camp, all the starships landing, like helicopters and everything, people running around, doing stuff. Inside the camp, well, all these pirates are taking some time to relax, shooting some billiards, having some beverages of some sort. I'm going to say beers, Star Wars beer, whatever it may be. Hopefully it's not blue milk or green milk. And then who do we see? Well, it's Captain Teva. Do you remember Captain Teva? Captain Teva was a New Republic officer who Mando's run into a couple times. And he's got a message. Well, who's that message from? Again, it's a Princess Leia style message from Grief Karga. Help us, Captain Teva. You're our only hope. We need the New Republic. So Teva's watching this and he goes, I really want to help him. And who comes over just at that moment? Well, maybe you recognize this person. Maybe you don't. It's only going to be people who actually have watched Star Wars in the past who recognize, yep, it's Zeb. Zeb from Rebels, the giant Lasat. And though he doesn't look quite as giant as he should be, I'll say the CGI is okay for TV. I don't think it would pass muster on a film. But it looks okay. We know it's Zeb. It's the same voice. I think it's Stephen Blum is doing the voice. So we know it's Zeb. If you watch Rebels, you know it's Zeb. And it's nice to see him. It's nice to see, some characters being brought in. Not surprising. It's a Filoni character. Teva's like, I want to help him. And Zeb's like, well, it's going to take forever to get a message to Coruscant from here. And Tiva's like, you're right. I'm going to go there myself because they can't turn down my request then. So it's like, good on you. And Tiva's off. Jump on the next wing and all but to Coruscant. So Captain Tiva arrives at the New Republic office, goes inside, and who else is there? Well, it's Elia Khan. She shows up in the background, but who does he go to meet with? Yes, that's right, Colonel Leon Phillips, the ladies' man. Okay, it's Tim Meadows. If you watch Saturday Night Live in the 90s, you know who that is. Anyway, Captain Tiva explains why he's there. I need some help. I need to requisition some fighters. We need to launch a counterattack against some pirates on the Outer Rim. They're attacking an independent a planet named Nevarro. Elia Kane comes in and reminds the colonel, actually that's an independent state. They're not aligned with the New Republic. And the colonel's like, yeah, that's kind of tough. They get a lower priority than the ones that are actually aligned with the New Republic. And Captain Tiva doesn't like how Kane's attitude and describes her as acting imperial, which she seems not to take insult with, but her presence there is interesting nonetheless. Tiva's unable to request or convince Leon Phelps to grant his request. As he's leaving, he's saying, look, something's going on out there. We got the pirates, we got the Empire resurging, and we're just sitting around here. So he's going off to do something himself. Well, where is he going to go to? Yep, it's that time. It's been 10 minutes into the show, so it's about time some Mandalorians actually show up in The Mandalorian. You know what? Before we actually get to where Tiva goes, I want to cut back to another scene here, and that's back on Nevarro. So Grief Karga is leading the citizens of the city of Nevarro out away from the devastation, and if this is the whole city, wow, this is a sparsely populated place. I mean, look at this crowd. I mean, they fit in this one little area together, all together. That's it. Is that it? Where's everyone else? Did they all get killed? Is this the entire population of this planet? How is this a thriving business planet, business economy? How is this? Can't get extras? Whatever. All right. So hopefully they get some help. Well, they're going to get some help because Tiva goes off to contact the Mandalorians. Yes, he's found a way to find the secret Mandalorian covert. He doesn't get a warm welcome from the Mandalorians. Paz Vizsla comes out and says, get out of here, Blue, which I guess is a slur or slander for New Republic officers. Din comes out. Mando goes, hey, take it easy a second. I owe this guy. Let me go see what's going on. And he says, how'd you find us? Captain Tiva? And Tiva goes, well, you happen to have someone here who used to serve with me in the New Republic. Who is this person in the Mandalorians that served with Captain Tiva? Well, of course, it's the famed Republic hero, R5-D4. Yes. R5-D4 somehow contacted Captain Tiva, or somehow Captain Tiva located R5-D4. And the question we should all be asking, and probably the writer should have asked, is how the hell did that even happen? I mean, how does Tiva know that R5-D4 was sold by Amy Sedaris on Tatooine? Did he even know that's where R5-D4 was? Are they pen pals? Do they keep in touch? It's like, hey, R5, what's going on? Oh, not much, man. Just hanging out a bunch of Mandalorians. How about you? Oh, I'm just chasing down the Imperial Remnant on the Outer Rim. What do you mean you're hanging out with the Mandalorians? Too busy. Catch you later. Bye. Well, this makes no sense. There's no causal connection here. But we don't need a causal connection. We just need to draw them in for story purposes. So, Tiva says, look, I'm here to tell you that your friend is in trouble. Grief Karga, planet of Nevarro, is under attack by Gorian Shard, the pirate captain, who kind of pissed off. Mando realizes, you know what? Maybe I should take a moment to consider helping these people out. Grief Karga did help me, and kind of owe him in a way. So now it's up to Mando to see what forces he can gather to go back to Nevarro. Nevarro, the place where this Mandalorian covert used to be. So they were driven out by Imperials and also kind of by Grief Karga. So now it's time for Mando to gather the troops, and he's got to give a rousing speech. So he's holding the armorer's hammer in his hand as he's giving his speech, and he tells his fellow Mandalorians, he's like, "Look, I understand. Many of you know Grief Karga as an enemy. He was the one who attacked us when we were on the planet when I was trying to save Grogu. But he's a changed man now. He's a changed man. He's now a high magistrate, and he's building a thriving community. And he's even offered me land, a land where we could live on and raise our children under the sun. Of course, those children will be wearing giant helmets, so you really don't get to feel the sun. But it's a place for them to live rather than keep running." And he hopes that pitch works. He sits down next to Bo, and Bo sort of gives him a nod, and he hands the hammer back to the armorer, and then someone else speaks, and it's Paz Vizsla. Paz Vizsla now gets the hammer, because apparently the hammer is like the talking stick for this group. So whoever holds the hammer gets to talk. And he says, "I don't like Grief Karga, basically. I don't like Mandalorian. I don't like Din Djarin. I don't like Bo-Katan. I don't like any of these people. And now they're here telling us to sacrifice ourselves again. So why would we do that? Why would we do that? Why? Because we're Mandalorians, and that's what we do. I don't like him. I know I don't like this guy, but he saved my kids. So did Bo-Katan. So let's gather up the troops and let's go and take a chance." And wow, this is like Braveheart. It's really engaging. Really good. I mean, wow. Favreau, dude. I'll go back and check who wrote this, but yikes. So now the Mandalorians get set to go. Bo's trying to get everyone into military formation, telling them, "All right, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to drop in. We're going to jetpack down. Once Mando's cleared off the pirate ship with his, again, the N1 Starfighter. Again, I stand by it. The best ship any bounty hunter can have. So Mando's going to go in, clear off the pirate ship, and then we're going to drop in and take everyone down. And it's going to be, military style. It's going to be great. And you know what? We've been wandering around a lot. We get a lot of bad stuff. But, for this chance, for this planet, she actually says this. We can be heroes. We can be heroes just for one day. God, I can't play the music, but really? All right. Anyway. So they attack the planet. Mando goes in with the M1 Starfighter. The other Mandalorians drop in, and we get some Call of Duty style, attack plans. Everyone's going down, clearing alleys, taking pirates out. And I'll say it's it's a decent action scene. It's a decent action scene. It goes on for about 15, 20 minutes. So it's not a bad action scene. It's not outstanding, nothing to write home about, but okay for a show. In the end, they're able to take it down, but again, the Mandalorians' tactics are just crap in some ways. I mean, at one point they get pinned down. Like, we're pinned down. If only there's a way to get out of this pinned down situation. I mean, it's not like they could fly up if they had jetpacks only. Oh, if they had jetpacks. At some point they realize they have jetpacks, but apparently they just don't use them tactically in any way. They just sort of jump up from position to position. They don't. Wow. I would use a jetpack very differently. I mean, any game you've played, you probably use it very differently, but these Mandalorians, for some reason, don't. Whatever. They take down the pirate ship. It crashes just outside the planet. Everyone's celebrating. Grief Karga thanks everyone. Thank you all, Mandalorians, and you now have a home here. You're now welcome to stay here. And everyone's happy. At that point, Paz Vizsla comes up to Bo-Katan and says, "The armorer would like to speak with you." So Bo goes off to speak with the armorer, and the armorer talks about how Bo-Katan walks both worlds. And what is that talking about? That she walks both the way and the way of the other Mandalorians. And she says, "You can take off your helmet." So now Bo's allowed to take off her helmet because it's against the way, but somehow the armorer's determined that Bo walks both sides, so she's allowed to not wear her helmet. I'm certain there's a logic here somewhere. I'm not getting it. But now the armorer says, "You are now tasked with going out and gathering the other Mandalorians and bringing them here to our new home. Bo shows back up in front of everybody without her helmet on, and the armorer announces, no, she is on a different quest now to gather the other Mandalorians, and she will unite all of us, those who follow the way and those who don't. And then we will once again be united and retake Mandalore. And that's kind of the end of the Mandalorian story. You know, we do get a brief little scene at the end, which sort of ties into something we heard before, which was, did Moff Gideon escape? Captain Teva's on his way back to, I guess, a Delphi base where he's located, and he comes across a damaged, what appears to be an Imperial shuttle. I don't know why there's an Imperial shuttle, because I thought the rebellion was scrapping all the Imperial, equipment, materials, and vessels. So why are they using an Imperial shuttle? We find a bunch of dead New Republic officers in the shuttle, and it turns out the shuttle was one being used to transport Moff Gideon to his trial. Moff Gideon's body's not in there, but you know what is in there? A piece of Beskar embedded in the hull. And Teva wonders, did the Mandalorians take Moff Gideon? What is going on? Do we actually have a story now? Possibly. I mean, there's only 3 episodes left. So going back to what I said earlier, why did I not call this The Adventures of Mando Grogu in Space? Because they are really just there in this episode. Grogu just sort of sits around. Nothing happens with Grogu. Mando's basically tangential to the entire story. He's there. He gives a speech. That's about it. It's called The Mandalorian, but the show's not about him. The show's about anything else at this point. I mean, we had the quest at the beginning where he was trying to, restore his Mandalorian honor, which he did, and that was all cured. And I guess then what? We have some problems with, creatures on the beach, and then we have a whole episode where we're learning about how awful the New Republic is. Maybe Moff Gideon's out there. This is not The Mandalorian anymore. This is just generic Star Wars show. We're just throwing stuff out there and seeing what sticks. I said that the action sequence was nice enough, but this is just completely generic. There's nothing about this anymore that has the awe and majesty of Star Wars. I think that's generally what we're seeing with Disney Star Wars. It's just like the magic is gone. And I guess we're going to have something with Moff Gideon at this point. I mean, there's only 3 episodes left. Does anyone still remember the Darksaber? I mean, technically, Din Djarin can lead all the Mandalorians. He's got the Darksaber. What's going on? Does he not know that? Anyway. It is really difficult to muster enthusiasm for this. I'm certain there's some people out there who like this. And y'all, if y'all finding some enjoyment out of it, good for you. But a lot of us are not. I just don't know what the purpose of this is anymore. No story. There's nothing to it. Hey, but, Katie Sackhoff is done with, voiceover work. Good job. Okay. Questions, comments, witticisms down below. Click like, click share, click subscribe. I'll see you later.